Parakeet. George.
Hi guys, my name is Marlene McCohen and this is Picasso, my mustache parakeet, and we have a very special guest star today for this video, which you guys may know about because a lot of you know what this video is about today. And before I tell you what it is about, I wanted to thank you guys for helping me choose this week's subject by voting on Parrot Station. I thought that was a lot of fun, and if you guys enjoyed it, then I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm going to try to give you guys some options every week for Parrot Tip Tuesday, and then whoever wins is going to be the video that we choose. For those of you just tuning in and don't know what I'm talking about, we have a Facebook page called Parrot Station. You're all welcome to join, share pictures of your birds. We are loving it. Help each other out, give each other advice. I love seeing your birds. And our new thing is voting for what Parrot Tip Tuesday is going to be about, and I had a really great time doing that. So if you guys are on the page, you know that today we are going to be talking about how to get two different parrots to get along. Yay! So with that being said, I thought I would do two things. One, introduce you to Mango. Say hi, Mango. You guys probably have met Mango before or remember Mango. Mango was in a video I made a little while ago about first-time owners and the stand that they made for Mango, which was just so beautiful and creative. So here's Mango today. I'm actually babysitting Mango, which has been really fun, and my sister's loving it because you guys know she's a complete conure person. Now, speaking of conures, check out my necklace, guys. This is not a conure, this is a macaw, but it's beautiful and sparkly, and it was sent to me by one of you guys in a really beautiful care package with a lot of different things. So I want to say thank you to the person who sent me that. Her name is Melanie. So Melanie, thank you so much, and share a picture of her son conure, Tiki. What do you think, Mango? Is Tiki pretty handsome? Yeah, I know you think so. This is Tiki, and this is my first hard copy ever that anybody has ever sent me of their bird, and I'm gonna put it up on my wall where I edit. So thank you so much, Melanie. This really, really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. It was very cool and exciting. So let's get down to business. Today, we are talking about how to get two parrots to get along. But when I was planning for this video, I thought to myself, I really can't just go into how two parrots get along without going into how to introduce two parrots together. Now, I know that's kind of a whole subject on itself, introducing them versus getting them to get along, but I thought we should touch on it and at least do a little bit of a recap, and later if you guys have more questions, I'll make a longer video about it. And in the meantime, if you want to see more about it, you can watch Cody's rescue, because when we rescued Cody, I showed a little bit about how I brought him into the house and where I put him in the meantime until he met the other birds. So, the first thing you want to do when you bring your new parrot home is keep him separated from your current parrots. You want to keep him in his own cage that you brought him home in, or I mean, well, not the one you brought him home in, but in his own cage. Make sure that all of your birds have their own space, their own stands, their own cages. Well, their own cages is more important than their own stands. For example, Picasso and Jersey are fine sharing a stand. Picasso has his own stand, but he much prefers to hang out with the Jersey. So eventually, when you get to that point, you'll know what's right for you in that area. But in the meantime, when you bring a bird home, you must intend for them to have their own cage, their own privacy to sleep at night, and just make them feel like they have their own space. So you're bringing this new bird home. Is he a baby? If he's a baby bird, it's a good idea to quarantine him from the rest of your birds for about 30 days. The reason for this is because you don't know if he had any other diseases or anything from the rest of the flock, and you don't want your flock to catch it. Now, in 30 days, if he had something, he would have probably gotten sick and died by then. So that is basically what that time frame is all about. If you watch the CODY files, you're going to see that CODY was introduced to my birds right away. Partly because Jersey couldn't wait, and there's a video on that where she just saw him locked up and wanted to unlock him. And also because I had met CODY 3 years prior, so I had already known CODY and known that he was still alive and healthy from the last time I met him. So I knew it was kind of okay. So we've gone over the quarantine and the fact that your bird needs to have his own space and his own cage. Now, that cage that your new bird is in should not be really close to the cages of your current flock or single bird. I'll, for the purposes of the rest of this video, call it your current flock. You want to make sure that your other birds can hear and see the new bird that you brought home. And through that, when you're watching your birds, it's a good idea to make sure that your bird or the new bird is not stressed by this idea. It's not picking at his feathers, squawking, flapping. Those are signs of stress. Something new has been introduced into the home and your bird is not okay with it. In that instance, maybe keep the new bird farther away, maybe out of the room in a different room so that your bird can hear him but not see you interacting with the other bird instead of him. If your bird is not stressed and doesn't exhibit any negative behavior, then it may be okay to bring the birds closer together. Now, I realize that, for example, Picasso is going to be out of his cage. I'm really not going to be in a situation where I put Picasso in a closed cage next to this other bird in a closed cage. Some of you might have that situation, but Picasso's kind of always out. So I'm going to let Picasso have his normal schedule. I'm going to keep everything the same for Picasso. And then when I feel like Mango is ready, now what is a ready bird? Well, I would say before you introduce two parrots together, it would be a good idea if you have a little bit of control over the parrot. So you see that Mango, I'm able to hold him, I'm able to pet him. You don't have to be able to pet him necessarily, but I can handle Mango. So if there was anything to arise, I could pick up Mango quickly or pick up Picasso quickly. So you want to make sure before you introduce both of the birds that you have full control over both of the birds and understand their behavior. Very important. Mango, by the way, has found the zipper in the back of my dress, and that's all he's interested in now. He just wants to go back there. So you have two birds that you feel confident in controlling and handling. What you want to do is you want to get both of those birds into a neutral area. For example, I'm not going to put Mango on top of Picasso's stand. That's going to aggravate Picasso. That's going to interfere with his territory. He's going to be afraid that I want to give something of his away. He's going to be afraid that his relationship with me is jeopardized. So you want to make sure that you're in, let's say, in this bathroom, somewhere where you know, the birds don't have their own spot that is theirs, like their cage or something. And by the way, in this bathroom, they do have their own spots that I like to stand them on. So you would want to be aware of if Picasso is the one standing on top of the faucet, you know, you don't let your bird see the other bird get their spot ever. So what I do, like for example, when I get a new flock member, is I take them both to another room, maybe like my bedroom, maybe like lay something out on the bed, have toys, hang out with them. And this may sound totally like mommy to two children, but that's the way birds behave. I actually, come here, Mango, let me show you. Let's put you in his hand. I know. I actually will give them both kisses and positive reinforcement at the same time. So for example, I'll kiss him and then I'll kiss Mango and I'll have them together and I'll be petting them both, showing them that they both get equal attention. Like for example, I'm giving Mango a head scratch. I'm not gonna not give Picasso something now. I want Picasso to know that he will never ever go back in the pecking order that he is in. That this new bird will never ever take the spot of Picasso. So I can't just be all over the new bird like if you had like a new puppy. You have to be like, hi, how are you? And then go right into giving Picasso some attention. Because the birds are more interested in you most of the time than they're going to be in another bird. They've already bonded to you. So the worst thing you could do for a bird is take away the attention that you are giving them. The bird will become aggressive to the other bird if he feels threatened, like as if he's going to be, you know, your number one. You can never make your current bird feel like your new bird is going to be your number one. And on that note, your current bird will adjust to whatever new schedule you give him. So it's okay to come into the house and always greet Picasso first, because that's what Mango has always known. So Mango's not going to be as angry as Picasso would be if suddenly Mango is greeted first. I know. Now remember, we went over that in the pecking order video, so that will be in more detail. But the reason I wanted to go over that here is because that is a main source of what makes parrots angry towards each other. If they feel like they're losing their place in the system, if they feel like they're losing their bond with you, or they feel like somebody else is coming in and trying to take over. Another place where I feel like is really great neutral ground is when we are all eating together. So for example, if I'm eating something, I'll share it with Picasso first, and then I'll share it with Mango. Share it with Picasso first, then share it with Mango. Get them together. Get them to know that with me is fun time. Now, these guys are similar in size. They're not really the most aggressive of parrots. But what if I wanted to introduce, let's say, Mango to Jersey? And Jersey could potentially attack or do something to Mango that I would be scared of, right? In that case, I want to make sure that, of course, by the way, in all of these scenarios, you're always present. You never just put them there and leave them alone. I want to make sure that Jersey is with me in a way that I know she can't attack. So for example, I might want to keep her busy. I might want to give her a toy or a piece of food. Are you really trying to go down my shirt right now? What are you trying to do? So you want to make sure that there's something busy that they're both doing. That being next to each other is the secondary thing. For example, if he has a toy and he has a toy and they're on the same stand now, let's say a neutral stand, one that is something they haven't seen before, or it's a table or a chair. There's lots of things you can turn into a stand just temporarily, and they're both eating. Well, that becomes like the main thing that they're doing, and them being next to each other is just like, oh, I'm next to him, but I'm eating. Same with when I get a new member of the flock like Cody. You see the videos of after a few days he's up in the shower with the other birds. So he wasn't exactly the happiest to be there. He was a little bit nervous, but the birds were already tired, they were already fed, and that's their kind of relaxation time when they don't get aggressive and they're just like so tired. So I knew it would be a good time to introduce Cody to our activities. And now he's totally different. He's like, oh, shower time. I really, really like this. But in the beginning, he did not. It's not that he didn't like the shower. He was just very nervous being around the other birds. So here I'm petting Mango. I don't want to let Picasso feel left out. So I literally, let me show you something since I got Mango here. Picasso's like getting stressed. It's okay. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you're my number one, right? Yeah. And by the way, they always have issues. They always want lip gloss. I know. And then I can pet Mango's head. And really, like a mommy, I say, I'll kiss them. The way I got George and Jersey and Vinny and Picasso to get along, I would just hold them together. You can see this in one of my Instagram videos without George, but I would kiss them like this to let them know. Yeah, and then closer. I know it sounds crazy, but They're just like, you know, just so that they know they're getting equal love. That if I kiss him, it doesn't mean he's not loved, you know? It's really more about the bird that you already have. The bird that you already have might have more reason to be aggressive towards the new bird. So that bird might be fearful that you're going to give away your love, and they have more of a reason to basically attack the new bird. On that note, Picasso is not very happy about Cody. So I've been doing things to make sure that Picasso is having extra alone time with me, and that I'm letting him know that Cody is not going to be my number one bird. Right, Picasso? You probably, if you're watching my Instagram stories at Marlene McCohen, then you'll see that I spend a lot of alone time with Picasso right now. Because one, I just love being alone with Picasso, but two, because he needs that right now. He's very aggressive towards Cody. Even if we're in neutral ground, he's not too happy about it. When they're both eating or both playing, he's much better, and he's gotten much better, but he is totally the alpha. And it's very surprising because Picasso is the type of bird that always wants to have a friend. So he was best friends with George, and he is now best friends with Jersey. It's not just that Picasso is aggressive towards Cody. He also is protective over his relationship with Jersey. He doesn't want a new bird coming in and, you know, taking his spot with Jersey either. So he's protecting the territory, right, baby? But he does improve drastically towards Cody when me and him hang out at night. By the way, I should tell you this story. It's kind of a story within a story. Picasso was getting kind of aggressive, and he was looking kind of upset. He's never really an aggressive bird. Guys, what are you doing? See, now Mango feels like he has a little bit of an upper hand. So we need to make sure that Picasso knows. I know, baby. See? It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Is that your spot? Do you think that's your spot where the zipper is? Is that what you think? It's all right. It's okay. Yeah. Oh my God, guys, I can't even. It's just so, they're just so beautiful. So, oh, what was the story within the story? Oh yes, this is evidence of how important it is to spend alone time with your flock. By the way, I should mention that this is very beneficial, not just for introducing the birds, but just for the birds' well-being and happiness. So Picasso had been pretty angry about the fact that Cody was in the house. So I started going back to my routine where I would bring just Picasso out and hang out with him. And one day in the morning when my sister woke up, she picked up Picasso and she said, "Picasso's different." And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Did you hang out with him last night?" And I go, "Yeah, how'd you know?" She goes, "Because his whole demeanor is different. He's happier, and he just looks so much more confident today." And you know what's funny? The fact that she could tell that I had alone time with him by his behavior just was so, it was so much evidence of how important it is to keep your bond going no matter how many birds you have with each of them alone. They really need that time to feel special. And the reason that this story is important is because that will lend itself to having your parrots get along. Main thing is always put the flock order the way it's supposed to be. So the new bird gets set high to last, just like we went over in the pecking order video, and that each bird still gets alone time. Now, if your birds act up on each other and they're on a stand and one of them attacks the other or one of them makes the other one fall, you must put the one that attacked back in a timeout. If it was both of them, put them both in a timeout. Do not give your bird any kind of attention for doing it. Don't be like, "Bad bird," or talk to him too much, because for birds, any attention is positive attention. It's really funny, but it is. Like, George used to do this thing where him and Picasso were best friends, but every once in a while they would get in a little bit of a battle and Picasso would fly down and Picasso would scream. And I would run in and go, "What happened? Is everything okay?" And I would, of course, pick up Picasso. But after a while, George, without attacking Picasso, would make the noises of Picasso getting attacked because he wanted me to run in and say, what's happening? Is everything okay? So you want to make sure that you don't give too much attention to the bird that is naughty. And if one of your birds is displaying great behavior, like let's say Mango wants a head scratch, and you have a bird that isn't developed as much in that area yet, you can use that to your advantage to train the bird. You could like ask Mango for a head scratch, just like we went over in that behavior in my video about how to teach your bird how to talk. And Irene Pepperberg has a brilliant book on Alex, the African Gray, that really goes into detail of how to teach your bird tricks and talk. So you can use that to your advantage. I want to go over some of my birds and how they behave too, because I think it may help you. Rocky, as you guys know, I don't keep him next to any of the other birds. He's displayed aggressive behavior toward birds before, and because of that, I just want to keep it safe and keep him distance. Now, Rocky won't go on his own initiative and try to attack any of the other birds, but if another bird is next to him or lands on his cage, he will get really upset about it. But what's interesting is none of the birds do land on his cage because they know. Now, Vinny loves Rocky's cage, and when Rocky is out of the cage, Vinny will go over there and play, and then literally fly back right before Rocky is about to come over. So birds are very, very aware, but you want to make sure that your bird is safe to introduce to other birds. Don't just take a large aggressive bird and bring a tiny little bird and put them together. Now, will Rocky ever be able to be with other birds? I have seen a lot of progress in this area with Rocky, but Rocky, as you guys know, still has a little bit of aggressive tendencies. He's come so far, but remember, he was locked in a cage for 10 years. Now we can pet him and cuddle him, but he has his moments. So I just want to make sure that I feel like Rocky is perfect with us, and he's making so many new developments all the time before I was to, let's say, introduce him to Picasso. But he knows Picasso, he knows all of the birds. They're all quite close to each other, but they're all very, very aware of each other's behaviors. And that also is because of the way we behave around them. In the beginning, let's say we brought Mango back, and let's say Mango flew onto Rocky's cage, I would make it very clear that he's not to go on the cage. I think maybe just even, let's say, the panic in my voice makes them realize that, but that wouldn't be enough. You would really have to make sure that the birds have their own area that they love so much more than being in anybody's area, right? Right, baby? And of course, remember guys, make sure that they are maybe eating in the time that you are introducing them, or have toys or something to distract them. The more time that they're together doing something else will make it more natural that, oh yeah, he's just over there. Yeah, I'm eating, he's eating, the other bird is just there. It becomes second nature then. It's like, oh, well, I don't need to attack the other bird, because let's say I put these two together face to face, they've never seen each other. They're going to be like, what? They have nothing to do but decide how they feel about one another. And making those decisions in that moment is only going to come from how much jealousy they feel, or how much of their, their flock mate is going to be taken away. So if you keep them in flock mate behavior, things that you can do together, like the eating, like the playing, like the hanging out, then it's going to become second nature for them to be together, and it's going to be so much better. Now, of course, like in Rocky's situation, not all birds are always going to have the possibility of being friends, but as long as they have their own space and their own cage, and if they need their own stand, then it's going to be okay. Most birds don't directly try to run after another bird and attack. What might happen is that you have one bird that wants to be friends or is in awe of the other bird, and the bird that it's in awe of is not interested in them. And when that little bird or whatever bird flies towards them, they can get aggressive. So you always have to be present. You always have to be completely aware of their behavior. You gotta know your birds. Don't just put them together and be like, oh, they're fighting. Just really include them like a mommy introducing two birds together or two babies together. I literally go through kissing them, a kiss for you, a kiss for me, some food for you, some food for you, some food for me. I make myself part of the flock too. I think that's also very important. So for example, like, let's say I have something that I want to play with, I'll play with it, then let this one play with it, then let this one play with it. Or I'll eat something, then let him eat it, then let him eat it. Actually, in this case, Picasso should eat it first. So me, Picasso, then Mango. Me, Picasso, then Mango. Keep it in the same order. Let them know that this bird is no threat because this is always going to be your baby. Right, Mango? What do you think about that? Right? Right. And reward them with a treat for being good. And treats for birds are, of course, treats and, of course, time with you. So I think those are the most important points. I know this is a very long video, but I feel like I had so much to go over. And those of you guys who are looking for information, I think you should have all the information that you possibly can. If you have any questions, please let me know. Also, Parrot Station is a really great resource. I see you guys are helping each other. I see that you guys are sharing and introducing your birds. I don't care if it's long stories. I know some of you are like, this story is long, but I don't care. I love it. Instead of reading news at night when I go to bed, I'm like, oh my God, look at this bird. I enjoy it so much. So thank you guys for joining Parrot Station. And thank you guys for watching my story go on with all these little birds all day long on my Instagram account, which is at Marlene McCohen. And I have just found, by the way, guys, you'd be so surprised how not good at social media I am. I'm getting good for you guys, but I didn't even know I had private messages in like the Engaged Not Caged account for a while. I don't know why it didn't occur to me because I don't know how to find them. I Googled last night because I saw one of them, like how to re-find it. So I'm seeing messages now and I'm going to be going through those, of course. You're so cute, tickling me. I'm going to be going through those, of course. So if you guys support birds not being caged up and other animals that are generally caged, like we've had some chickens, which is really cool, and a fancy rat and a horse and dogs. If you guys support any kind of animal not being caged, then please go follow Engaged Not Caged on Instagram and hashtag Engaged Not Caged, and I will share your companion or your pet. Of course, I might not get to them all right away, but I am working on them. And I think it's a great message for people. So it's still in its baby phases, of course, but we have 500 followers as of today. And I think that's really amazing, guys. I am really loving it. And yes, thank you guys for voting on Parrot Station. Follow at Marlene McCohen for our story of the birds all day. And of course, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything. And really the reason I do this is for the birds. I love the birds and I love hearing when you guys say that any of my videos have helped you with your bird, because to me, that means that there's a bird somewhere that has a little bit of a better life. And of course, it's all because of you. It's because of you guys that are taking the initiative with your birds. So thank you guys so much. I love you. Bye.